But here's the thing, my sound should be up. Because I'm using StreamYard OBC. Hold on for a second. Let me look at my other settings. But here's the thing, my sound should be up. I can hear my sound. Because I'm using StreamYard OBC. Okay. Hold on for a second. Let me look at my other settings. Thanks, brothers. Thanks. But here's the thing, my sound should be up. I can hear my sound. All right, let's get this. All right, let's see. Because I'm using StreamYard OBC. Brothers, thanks. But here's the thing, my sound should. Okay, let's see. Hold on I can hear my sound. Other settings. Thanks, brothers. Thanks. But here's the thing, my sound should be up. I can hear my sound. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is what I was saying, brothers. Did y'all hear anything I said? All right, did y'all hear anything I said? Okay, there's an echo. Did the echo go away? And I hate this delay that they have here. All right, so did the echo go away? All right, so what's up, Baruch 12? All right, so y'all let me know if the echo go away. Let me know if you can still hear me. All right, okay, so here's the thing. So here's the problem, all right. So we were talking about these dudes, these weak-minded dudes that's, um, what's his name? We were talking about black male advice and stuff and Ringo. A lot of these weak-minded, simple-minded dudes who feels like their only job is to keep Afro man on the plantation, right? Because they don't have a choice but to stay there because they're not making any money. Or I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. A lot of these dudes feel like the best way to make money on YouTube and all the rest of the stuff is by destroying other Afro men. Let me repeat that. A lot of these dudes are starting to think that the best way to make money is by trying to destroy other Afro men. What's up, USMC vet? All right, period. All right, and so what they do is like we was talking about. These dudes said they got some receipts on these dudes going in brothels or poof houses and stuff like that, right? So what? Who cares? You don't got nothing better to do than to check dudes D on behalf of black women who don't want them dudes anyway. All right, they're angry if dudes go out and have fun. They're angry if dudes go out and find wives. They're angry for everything, right? And why? Because they can't do what men do. All right. Now, we do have a major problem here in that you got a lot of thugs that's traveling too. And you got simps that's traveling. And a lot of them are traveling to mess up the game. All right. To mess up everything. In other words, all of these dudes and stuff are working on behalf of supremacy. And we're talking about the YT kind. All right, this is a really sad state of affairs for Afro people. All right, so let's say this again. All right, that that our community is going to be defined by men. Period. When men find suitable women to bear children and stuff, that builds a family and community, right? Our community is probably going to be dispersed. However, there's enough of us traveling in other places that we're going to have unity, and we're going to have a bigger impact is because um, we have made inroads into other communities. In other words, when brothers travel, it's not all about us. And so part of what's going on is this anger by the BW, the ABW, that they can't do what men do, and they can't. They got all these body counts and stuff like that, but they can't do what men do. All right. Uh, hey, so what's up, Baruch 12, David Bowman? Hey, somebody just sent me a cash app, and I would like to thank them. Oops, that's the wrong button. Who was this? Hey, thank you, David. Okay, thanks, David, for the cash app. And yeah, I thank the other brothers for the PayPal me. And the brother Steve, if he's in here, thank you for your PayPal, because he hooked a brother up and allowed me to do a lot more things, right? Along with brother Roland and stuff. All right, and so basically, speaking of which, let me see if I can pop him in here real quick. So basically, this is what you have, right? And so you have a lot of stuff going on whereby everybody is getting upset at the Afro men for being able to travel, for being able to go meet other women, because we were supposed to stay miserable. All right, understand this. This is what they had meant for us. This is what they meant for us. They wanted us to stay single, stay without the BW, and the reason why they wanted to do this, because while the BW is busy getting run through, all right, as her, and while that starts to while they're getting run through, it devalues them more and more, especially if they have children. Especially if they have children. But they do all this stuff, they have this past, but then they want to be treated like virgins. And nobody's going to do that. But we will still cut for you and stuff like that, take care of you. But we're not going to treat you like a virgin. You gotta come at us like you want us, and not like we have to go to your father because you're a virgin, right? And so, and we recognize that you've been with some other dude, all right? So we're not going to have be waiting around, have you make us spend money on dates and stuff like that when we know you've been with some other dude, right? And so BW thinks that they're raising their standards by playing these games, not understanding that it's the brothers that's raising their standards. We're saying the standard is when you're a virgin, we go before your father. When you're not, we don't. When you're not, then you got to bring something other than a coochie. Because the coochie is no good anymore. I don't care how good you think it is. To a brother, it's not good anymore once you start being run through. And so the whole other rest of the thing starts to become about relationship. Well, how good of a relationship can you provide? And this is where everybody else in the world is winning out over the black woman. All right? Because when you go to other countries, we're not going to, the virgins ain't falling out of the tree because of the feminist agenda has reached everywhere. It's just that some of the mannerisms and culture, all right, some of the mannerisms and culture all right, some of the mannerisms and culture from these other places, all right, are such that they said, you know what? Yeah, I don't have a baby yet, but I would like to have a family and stuff like that. And I still remember my femininity values. And so, yeah, let me try to find me a good man. And even though they can't lead with sex, we lead with femininity. They lead with saying we bring purpose to the man. We bring purpose to the family. You can concentrate on doing what it is that you do, and we'll concentrate on taking care of the children, the home, and everything else. And if you need me to be a personal manager to help you do what you do, we'll do that also. You don't get this from the BW. You don't get this. What you get from them is you got to have a six-figure income, be 6 feet with a six-pack. Okay? And if you don't have that, then you have to wait till I get run through and I decide that I want companionship, but I'm not having no more kids. Because, they don't have children. They have kids. We're the only one that call our children a baby goat. I want y'all to understand that. And people don't call their children baby goats until they come to the United States. All right? These women are losing because they decided they could do everything by themselves. And they could when everything is good. But that isn't why you make amends. That isn't why you build relationships. You build relationships so that when things get tough, you have somebody to lean on. You have a community whereby you can help solve problems. You can help yourselves weather a storm. You can get help. Like when me and one of the brothers was taking water bottles down when Beaumont and all the rest of that was flooded. Y'all remember that? We put all the water we could in my SUV. And us and other people along the way, men, we were taking this stuff into the flooded areas. And we was going to take it as far as we can get. And or until we had to meet a boat. Because the roads were flooded just like that. All right. And then we passed out the water and drove back to do it again. All right. And so that's basically it. All right. We have communities of men, but black women don't have that because the very people that would do this, think about this, the very people that would do this, that would go to these places and do these things, the BW rejected. So now they have to compete with this. They have to compete with this. And the question is, The question becomes, how do they compete with this? Right? And I keep saying it, that the essence of the beauty of these women, the beauty that's in these women, all right, the beauty that's in these women is not coming from just how they look. It's coming from how they are. All right, it's how they are. Hey, what's up, Roger Spice? All right, it's how they are on the inside. So they manifest femininity on the inside. Roger Spice, I no longer have any strikes on my channel because I blocked YouTube from sending me these ridiculous emails. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. And so now, so what's going on is this. The other reason why we're not turning and we're not coming back. All right. The other reason why the Afro man is not coming back to the black woman is the black women have allowed the system to weaponize them to the point where they get a voice and the Afro men don't. Well, what's the problem in this? The problem with this is this, that with the black women doing that, they've been actively wanting our elimination from Earth. And even if they might not be the ones, understand this, even if they might not be the ones that push that, I want y'all to understand, even though they don't directly push it, they directly promote it. These women talking about we need to eliminate the Afro man, they got a bunch of black women on their stuff. All right? And that's a problem. Not for us. That's the problem for the B-dub. And the reason why it's a problem for the B-dub is because the more we do this, the more they start to understand, or they should understand, that we realize that no, you are our adversaries. All right? We understand now that you are adversaries. You want our elimination. You don't want to build with us. You got all these dudes running around talking about yeah, we for the black women. But they're not for the family. They're not for children. They're not for righteousness. They're not for what's right. And they will lie as much as the Caucasian so-called supremacy system that they say exists. They will lie as much as that to try to shame an Afro man into being with women that didn't want them. What's up, Wayne King? Hey, Wayne King, where are you at teaching English? Now, here's the thing that people aren't talking about. All right, so you got Brother Wayne King, right? And the thing is, Wayne King is teaching English in the streets. Like I was doing math and bringing stuff and stuff like that, right? And basically, what happens is, remember when we talked about how the 80-20 rule? I want you to understand this. You have the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the black women are going after only 20, well, really 16% of Afro men. But this is where the 16% of the Afro men lie, because they're not the rich dudes. The only people getting rich, dude, is Brittany Renner, because she's hunting them. She goes to these college games and see who the sucker is going to be, right? And she see who's going to make it into the NFL. She throw that body on them, get hooked up, right? Because she understands that most of the dudes that are playing football and basketball in college that are from Afro families or from the single black mother who told them that the black woman should be worshipped. But thanks to Coach Dion, he's changing this narrative. And it's a narrative that needs to be changed. All right? And what he's doing is he's changing the narrative to where he even brought her in. And she said, I'm going to play y'all. Women like me will play y'all for suckers, because you are suckers. Because you don't care about your bottom line. All you care is getting with a body, and you allow that body to control you. Basically, to sum up everything. See, Dion is trying to train these dudes. These dudes that's going to Alabama, all the rest of that stuff, they're using women to weaponize. They're weaponizing women against them dudes to stay on the plantation. Okay? And so, this is what you're finding in the Dominican Republic. You're finding a whole lot of other stuff in the Dominican Republic, too. And you find game in the Dominican Republic. But you know what makes the game so potent in the Dominican Republic? That these women are feminine, right? Brittany Renner, she is straight up feminine. That's what makes her so dangerous to your wallet. All right. And so what's going on is that, hey, don't forget to put the thumbs up, brothers. Thumbs up. 20 watching, only 13 thumbs up. Okay. And so when we get into this, this is something that has to be realized. All right, this is something that has to be realized. And so now we start understanding some things. All right, now here's the game for you. When we travel, understand this, when we travel, the one thing that we must do when we travel is learn a little bit of the language. All right? Learn a little bit of the language. The more of the language you know, the better things are going to be for you. 2, understand the currency and understand how much something costs. And never, I repeat, never, let me say it one more time, never ask women how much something should cost. Never ask a woman. What these women that you're meeting on these sites, you're talking to on Facebook, this, that, and the other, you don't ask them how much something should cost. Uber, InDriver, and stuff, Uber is not a problem. All right, but InDriver and stuff, if you want to know how much something costs, this is how you do it. Get an Uber app. And this is what you do when InDriver isn't working. Get your Uber app out and put where you want to go and see how much Uber is going to bill you. And say Uber don't have any cars, that's your negotiating price for InDriver. You can go a few dollars or a few pesos or a few reais above that, and you have something right there. But you never ask a woman, right? If you want to know where to go meet women, don't ask women. Ask some of the dudes at the front desk, or ask your Uber driver. Don't ask the taxi. A lot of these taxis are getting a cut of wherever they get you to go. All right, so you don't ask the taxi. You ask your Uber driver, ask the in driver, or ask the people at the front desk of a hotel or stuff that you're staying at. Ask the security. If you have security, ask the security guy. All right, but you don't ask women. All right, as much as possible, we have to keep women from our domain because they are trying to destroy us. Now, what's up with the African women? Right? What's up with African women? Why aren't dudes going over to Africa? Did y'all ever wonder that? Did y'all ever wonder why brothers aren't going over to Africa? All right. I think there is a reason brothers aren't going over to Africa. Hold on for a second. What's going on here? All right, I think there's a reason brothers aren't going to Africa. And I think one of the main reasons that brothers aren't going to Africa is that there's that betrayal thing. Let me see something real quick. I wonder what's going on with this. Hold on for a second. All right. So there's the betrayal thing that I think is a big key. Brothers are starting to peak game. All right. We are looking at a bunch of stuff, right? We are looking at a couple of things. We're looking at the woman king. All right, we're looking at the woman king. We're looking at Ernil Ibsen's book. Brothers are looking at a lot of stuff, and we're starting to reevaluate what's going on. All right, we're starting to reevaluate what's going on. Most of the dudes when they go to Brazil, most of the brothers when they go to Brazil, they're going there and they are talking to Afro-Brazilians. When they go to Colombia, more likely in Colombia, you're going to talk to an Afro-Brazilian or Afro-Colombian, right? Don't forget to get the thumbs up, all right? 22, only 15 thumbs up. So, all right. And so, but why are brothers It's like brothers are inherently rejecting Africa. And I'm going to say that there is something to that. I am going to say that there is something to that. All right. And one of the things that we have going on with this, that was going on in Africa, is this: that as good as these women look, right? As good as these women look, you got a major problem here. And that problem is that, hold on for a second. The problem is that that a lot of these women here, they look good, but we see the betrayal, right? And so if you look at the African woman versus the Filipino woman, right? The brother was like, well, the Ida people in the Philippines, you know, they kind of looking kind of good. So, yeah, let me hit up on the Filipino women. All right. And right, what's going on is that you have people that are kind of shying away from the African woman. All right, you kind of have people shy away from the African woman. And the reason why they're shying away from the African woman is because of history. All right, there's a lot of history that went into this betrayal. And it's a history that a lot of brothers ain't forgetting. You know what I mean? And this is I think what's going on when we talk about what's really up with what is going on in Africa. All right, when we address what's really going on in Africa, it's like, okay, this history of betrayal is something that brothers just are not forgetting. Brothers are like, no, we ain't gonna forget this. All right, and so what's happening is, and the more stuff happens, and so what's happening is, the more brothers wake up, the more brothers wake up, the more we see how bad things were for us and how bad these women were for us. Remember that we're looking behind, and this is what we're looking at. The people that helped sell us over here, the people that instead of being like, oh, we're coming over here now that we can, and we're going to build with you, they came over here, and because their mothers, if you listen to the Africans from a lot of the countries, like South Africa, if you listen to the Africans, especially from Nigeria, they will tell you their mothers are the ones that taught them that the Afro men in America was no good. Right? And so brothers are like, you know what? You want to play me like that? I'm going to go to the Dominican Republic because it's closer. Better yet, I'm going to go to Colombia. It's a little closer. It's cheap to get to the Dominican Republic. It's cheap to get to Colombia. People are going to the Dominican Republic because they have more fun. They're having Super Bowl parties there. Oh, but there's another thing too. Then there's the Philippines, Thailand, and Brazil. These places are a little more expensive. But brothers is like, you know what? Yeah. Yep. These places are looking good, right? And so nobody isn't saying that the African women don't have a body. When Queen Latifah was like, give me body, African women got that body. Oh, yes, indeed, they do. All right? They got the body. They got that vibe, right? But the Dominicans got a nice body, but they got that femininity that goes with it. And they got the thing that, well, they might have been trained to think ill or think about their own first, but they got something else going with them and going for them. They got the fact that they never was one of the participants in selling us out. They got that going for themselves. That they weren't one of the participants that sold us out. All right, so they got that going for them. Mexico, yeah, as well, right? You got Mexico as well. So you got Mexico, the Dominican Republic, right? And you got all these places. And what they don't have going on is the legacy that they helped sell out the Afro man. I want y'all to think about that for a hot sec. Where they don't have that as a legacy, where they helped sell out the Afro man. And then I'm going to tell you another problem. In this, we see a lot of the African women acting like the women we're trying to get away from. All right, we see them acting like the women we're trying to get away from. All right, and so we're like, yes, there's a lot of beauty here, right? There's a lot of culture. I would like to go so I could learn about what really happened. What's really going on. Right? That's why I would like to go. But one of the things I want y'all to understand, that we can't keep letting these people play us like this. All right? We'll be all over something because of a good body, then get upset when that body sells us out. All right, so one of the things that I started to understand, that a lot of times we don't go to Africa and these places for this simple fact that there is a history there that we are just waking up to, where we can put our finger on it. But it's something we've always known. You're there and we're here. When we turn around, you make a white man king of the Ashanti. You know, that's supposed to be African. That you worship the Caucasian man. You have a bunch of women running around in Africa trying to bleach their skin to be light-skinned dead. All right, you help these people into the interior, okay, and then you spit in the face of the Afro men, but you want our money. You have women come on YouTube and say publicly, we don't want you, we really don't want you. And in a moment of clarity and honesty, they said, all we want is your money because we see no worth in the Afro man. Now, the black woman, with her worth is in, well, coochie. But they ain't trying to marry her. All right? And a lot of them are going to Africa thinking that the African men want them because they're American women. Right? They're going down to Brazil thinking that they can take the Brazilian men from the Brazilian women. And that's not going to happen. They're thinking they could go to Colombia and do the same as these groups. Oh, a new thing is going on. They're doing the Stella got her groove back. They're going on these islands, on these secret in lagoon boat trip, and they're accosting the tour guides and having the tour guide run through them. So they're having hot girl island hopping along with hot girl summer. But this news gets around because now all these dudes in the islands, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a tour guide because the black woman coming from the United States, she's just letting us just run through that. She having her Stella got her groove back moment. And so we don't deny the beauty that's going on in Africa, but we're saying that there is beauty everywhere, but we're looking for the beauty that did not betray us. And therein lies the other problem. As we said, there is an issue with these traveling dudes. Some of them are going down there to destroy the image of the Afro men, even being an Afro man. But, you know, they're going down there at the behest of the so-called BW, thinking they're doing something positive. All right, and is the reason why it's not working is they'll spend all that money, but they got to go back because all they have is a little vacation time from a little bit of money that they saved up. Then you got brothers that's really trying to make moves, like that woman said, with cryptocurrency, with online business. They're getting that. They're getting a different type of visa. They're retiring, right? And brothers are going places where they are appreciated. And brothers are reporting back. They're doing recon and reporting back. Brothers are. The simps, the so-called black men, no, they are pawns of the BAW. The American black woman has them as their pawn. And then the American black woman thinks that she could go down there and de-police and Bogart and C-block. But that's not going to happen for a good reason. Everyone is waking up and understanding that the American black woman is an agent of the system in general. And then you got some that's trying to break away, some that's trying to stick up for the brothers, and they're being attacked. But you got some that say they are trying to stick up for the brothers, but they're really not. Okay? What's really going on is some of them dudes that say they're sticking up for the brothers, they're not sticking up for the brothers. What they are doing, some of the women, what they're doing is they're finding a niche where they can earn money. More dudes give to these females than those that give to dudes that's actually trying to do something in the community. Let me repeat that. More dudes give to these females to do whatever they want to do, to pay their bills and stuff, than they give to brothers that's actually trying to do stuff. in the community. This is why brothers ain't doing stuff in the black community in the United States. And those of us that are doing it abroad have other ways to get income, and we have the support of a small minority of brothers that support this. But it isn't all of us. And this is, and it's been one of the most difficult thing to grasp. I wanted people to think that it's the brothers, it's the brotherhood, it's the Afro men in general that's helping me to do this stuff, but it isn't. It's a few brothers that's helping me to do this stuff. Like the people that come and consistently support my channel. And I'm not even talking about just financially. I'm talking about brothers that support my channel, right? And so we have to guard, and this is what, and we got to guard what they're trying to destroy. All right? So I want y'all to understand this. We have to guard what they're trying to destroy. They are trying to destroy the Afro man's image. All right, I want y'all to understand this. They are trying to destroy the Afro man's, oh, the Cuban women, Hawaiian women, yeah. No, hold on. Here's the thing. They are the least desired in the whole world. They are the least desired in the whole world. And the reason why they are the least desired has everything to do with their tude. All right? They thought, I'm going to be the man. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. Bada boom, bada bang. Bada da 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 da. And what's ending up happening is that a lot of people are not playing that. And dudes, they're like, if you throw us a, look, men, we will run through anything. Don't get it twisted. You throwing it at us, we hitting. All right, the reason why I don't get tied up with a lot of stuff is I avoid putting myself in a compromisable, that kind of a compromising position. All right. Hey, thanks, David Bowman. All right, and that's bottom line. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to allow myself to be compromised. All right, now, I keep telling y'all this, right? That the objective of these people is prevent the coalition of militant black nationalist group, prevent the rise of a messiah, all right, prevent those that could get us together from gaining respectability.
Was the president of NBC at the time, Zucker.
Mm-hmm.
And Zucker became the president of CNN. And at the time, he was the president of NBC, but he was having dinner at Mr. Cosby's home, telling him that he needed to stop this rhetoric of empowerment of black people and telling black guys to pull their pants up and going after these stereotypes against black people. And Mr. Cosby politely told him, he said, come on, get your coat. And he thought they were going to go for a walk after dinner. And Mr. Cosby said, get out of my house, you Nazi. Called the Jew, and Zucker said, one day I'll get you back for that. So he becomes the president of CNN, and CNN who? Paraded the women out. Paraded the women out, and CNN was behind Kamal Bell, who has a show on there doing this documentary. We need to talk about Bill Cosby.
But it's funny, look, I went off on him.
Did y'all understand that? Did y'all understand that? All right. They want to prevent nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability by discrediting them to the community. And that's what they did to Bill Cosby. The black women have decided to do this to Martin Luther King. And then they tried to do it to Malcolm X by saying he was LGBTQRS. All right. If you notice in all these things, they got black women or women to use sex to try to discredit the work that these men were doing. They tried to frame Bill Cosby so good that even a judge had to overturn what these people did. They tried to make it look good, but they had to overturn what these people did, this witch hunt. Remember who their master is always. Remember who their master is. Were y'all able to hear the video? Hold on. Let's see, where's that at? Okay, were y'all able to hear the video? Okay. So I think I'm gonna repeat this video again. Let me this particular one again, because I really want y'all to understand what's going on here. They want to prevent militant black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability by discrediting them to the community. And they're getting a black woman to do it, and they're using sex.
One of the guys who told him to stop was the president of NBC at the time, Zucker.
Mm-hmm.
And Zucker became the president of CNN. And at the time, he was the president of NBC, but he was having dinner at Mr. Cosby home, telling him that he needed to stop this rhetoric of empowerment of black people and telling black guys to pull their pants up and going after these stereotypes against black people. And Mr. Cosby politely told him, he said, "Come on, get your coat." And he thought they were going to go for a walk after dinner. And Mr. Cosby said, "Get out of my house, you nasty." Called the Jew, and Zucker said, "One day I'll get you back for that." So he becomes the president of CNN, and CNN parades the women out. Paraded the women out, and CNN was behind Kamal Bell, who has a show on there doing this documentary. We need to talk about Bill Cosby.
Well, it's funny. So, I went off on him.
Okay. Now, here's the other problem. Nothing's ever going to get solved for this reason. Nothing's ever going to get solved for this reason. It won't get solved because these people talk about having a dialogue. Okay? These people are talking about having a dialogue. We all need to get together. What's up, K-Dot? And what's happening is that when these people come together, the black people, the so-called black people, oh, we need to get it, we all need together, and the only people that get to talk are the people that are popular and that make money off of YouTube, but they're compromised. Okay? They're compromised. So what do you do about that? Nothing. Nothing you can do about it. All the regular dudes have to get out, jet, be gone. Because this whole system don't mean us any good. Real quick, want to remind y'all, my PayPal, me, and Cash App will be in the description box. All right. Remember, you take care of yourself and family first. And let me remind you at this time that if you just popped in, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. All right. All right. And so basically, we talked about these two women right here. All right. And how they prevent the long range growth of everything is they have this level of toxicity come after the Afro men. Right? The B-dub is about to hit that wall by themselves. All right? But here's the thing. Our problem is these simps and the D-police. Like I said, them dudes I mentioned at the beginning. Right? They have no worth to the discussion or anything. Their whole intent is to make money, and they see the best way to make that money is by catering to the B-dub and attacking other Afro men in the hopes that they can get them to stay on the plantation. But bottom line is this. We're going to leave the plantation reserved for them. And we getting ghosts, right? Brothers, to all you brothers, when you travel, right, we don't need to post. I mean, when we go someplace, meet some people, let's post them. Because they like being recognized. They like us people like when we put them on the map for a good reason. Right? They like being put on the American map for a good reason. But we don't need to be in hot tubs, posting hot tubs. Swimming pools, yeah. But hot tubs, that's supposed to be a private moment to be front, like, look at what I got. Right? If it's a relationship, take the, there's pictures that I have of exes that I used to talk to that I share amongst the brothers. And I don't share like, I can get this, you can't. I share that, no, these are some nice females and stuff. They are loving and caring and stuff like that. Don't have too many arguments. There's a culture reasoning behind such and such and so and so. Right? And that's what I do. All right. We don't want to put people of other cultures in the public in a negative way. Because while we're having a problem with what they're doing to our image, I don't think we should be doing it to somebody else's image. Period. So, brother, with that said, all right, with that said, brothers, I'm about to bust a move. Hey, real quick, everybody that has a channel, because I know Captain, no, not Captain Mark. Who stuff was I looking at on TikTok? Um, Captain Marvel, man, who? Kid Jackson. Kid Jackson. All right, he has a TikTok at Kid Jackson, Kid_Jackson. David Bowman has a YouTube. Daniel Porter, he has a YouTube and TikTok. Who else got something on here? Let's see. Who else got something on here? Anyway, let's see. Yeah, we got you, David Bowman. So David Bowman has a YouTube and TikTok. All right, so let's support each other. All right. And with that said, people, I'm about to bust a move and be out of here. Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll holler at y'all on the next one.